Hello Edmon, how are you doing?
Very good. Thank you for having me here.
Thanks for granting this interview for domain.info.
Things have been going very well in terms of numbers, in terms of Sunrise. Through the whole Sunrise period, we had about 30,000 applications, and then LandRush is really the exciting part as well. LandRush, in the 3-week LandRush period, we had over 500,000 applications, and based on the process that we have, for names that have more than one application, it goes to auction. The .Asia story has been quite an interesting one. The very starting point, the concept started in the year 2000, and we went through a lot of stages. Of course, there were organizations that were questioning whether the setup is correct. There were organizations that were unsure. I think throughout the Sunrise process, throughout what we have done so far, and throughout the ICANN process, including reaching out to the GAC, reaching out to the intellectual property constituency, reaching out to really the relevant stakeholders and the community, have established .Asia as, I think, a really successful launch. And that, I think, will continue to build the foundation for .Asia's growth. As I mentioned earlier, in Sunrise we had 30,000, sorry. In LandRush there were over 500,000 applications. To date, we have about 250,000 registrations in the registry, and the growth rate is around 1,000 a day. Right now, it's the initial go-live period, it was about 10,000 a day. It's now stabilized at around 1,000. It's a very interesting question because during the Sunrise period, a majority of applications actually came from the US and Europe, which is to be expected. In LandRush, it became more leveled out, about 30% from Europe, 30% from North America, 30% from Asia. But once Go Live started, the real driver is in Asia. And Australia, China, and India is driving the registration right now. And over 50%, since Go Live, over 50% is coming from Asia. I think going forward, one of the things that we really think works is to work to develop real usage of .Asia domains. For example, we're really excited that one of the leading whiskey brands actually is utilizing Keep Walking.Asia in their regional campaign, regional TV ads, and pointing people back to their website. Recently, we've been able to work with GMA 2008.Asia, and that's it's the Golden Melody Awards, and it's sort of like the Grammys for Mandarin pop. And those sites are actually getting millions of hits every day because the site actually has a voting platform. So as a fan, you can go on and vote for the hottest stars in Asia. And what that does is that it gets people to actually type in GMA 2008.Asia and type in a .Asia domain. And those are the types of programs, types of initiatives we think will really drive the adoption of .Asia and create the awareness for the general user. And that ultimately creates value for all the .Asia domains in general. I think .Asia, one of the things we started to do, I believe we're the first GTLD to actually, in our proposal to ICANN, we've included IDN TLDs. So to have .Asia in the different languages itself, not only the second level, but the top level domain. So one of the main areas that we will be focusing our efforts on is working with ICANN to really make .Asia into IDN TLD and make that happen for the community in Asia, because it really makes a difference. It makes a difference for the Chinese people, for the Japanese people, for the Korean, for Indian, for even the Arabic community, and that's definitely going to be one of my goals, if you will, to ensure that we will be able to deliver IDNs in a manner that works for the community. I think it's great. I mean, it's only just started. I think if you look at the ratio between the population and the number of domains, it's still far lower than .de is, for example. Of course, .de perhaps is an exception, but I think it's really great for the industry in general because it creates a level of awareness. And the other thing that I think a lot of people forget about, especially trademark owners, actually what is happening is that the more people in China owning .cn domains, the more they become aware of the importance of trademark protection, importance of intellectual property protection. And that actually, I think, helps growing up of the general intellectual property community, and also the respect towards intellectual property, and also the awareness of new TLDs in general. I did hear about .Paris, .Berlin, .NYC. I think those are really exciting types of projects. They are in some ways a little bit similar to .Asia in that it's some sort of a geo identification. We also talk about a lot of times about .Asia and why, in fact, in searches, when you type in a Google search, most of the time, actually, you put in a geographic identifier like .Asia, like Asia. When you search for something like backpacking Asia, a lot of times you actually put in a geographic identifier. So I think those type of initiatives are really exciting and will create a lot of interesting use. In terms of Beijing or Taipei or Tokyo, I think there could be that possibility. I mean, it would make sense, but it probably might even make more sense with an IDN TLD. Last part I want to bring up is we all know that there were a couple of disasters that happened in Myanmar and Sichuan recently. .Asia have been able to put together Relief.Asia as an initiative. It's both an online donation platform and also a platform that is today bringing together open source technologies and GPS technologies and mobile technologies that are helping relief teams in Myanmar and in Sichuan. And do come around to Relief.Asia and be a volunteer or go through the online donations and really help the people there. Just a couple $100 can buy a home, a new home, well, a temporary home for people in Myanmar and Sichuan. So Relief.Asia.
Edmon Chung, thank you very much for granting this time.
Thank you.
Again to domain.info.
Thank you.